All right, good afternoon. My name is Jackson, and I will be presenting case two with Josh and Isaac today about the CUHK Medical Center and their progression into becoming a smart hospital through some logistical challenges. So we'll get started here.
A little summary on the case. CUHK Medical Center was to be one of the first hospitals in Hong Kong to utilize 3PLs, one of the first private teaching hospital to be fully owned by a university in Hong Kong, and first paperless smart hospital to open in Hong Kong. The capacity of the hospital would have 606 beds, a 24-hour clinic, and 15 specialist medical centers with construction projected to cost $6.33 billion. The healthcare supply chain in Hong Kong was mostly um, owned publicly by the government, with 71% of hospital beds coming from government-funded hospitals. The public hospitals in Hong Kong preferred to run their own supply chain over utilizing a 3PL. The Hospital Association used two levels for their supply chain, a head office level and a hospital level. The head office level handled tasks such as setting standards, managing supplier relations, forming policies and guidelines, and providing tendering support, while the hospital level was mostly responsible for procurement. The request for 3PL providers, it was a 5-year contract with an option to renew for an additional 2 years. 3PL provider would be required uh, to provide equipment, transportation, labor, warehousing, and IT solutions, and also responsible for a wide range of medical consumables and pharmaceutical SKUs.
All right, so the mission for the CMC is to provide Hong Kong residents with private healthcare that is high quality, affordable, and transparent in pricing. They also want to have a traceable logistics management and storage, transportation, and delivery of supplies, and also a warehouse management system that is integrated into their already existing ERP system. As for Fung's decision, the CMC goals of offering high quality, affordable, and transparent private healthcare, as well as becoming Hong Kong's first smart hospital, directly impact how Fung is to choose logistic providers. They must select partners who are reliable, cost effective, and able to support advanced technology systems. And these providers should offer clear pricing, fast and accurate service, and digital tools like real time tracking to help the hospital run efficiently. These choices ensure the hospital can meet its mission while staying innovative and patient focused.
So why did CUMC go out to tender for its 3PL and medical consumables and pharmaceuticals? First off, the definition for go out to tender is a formal invitation for suppliers or businesses to submit bids for a project or service. In this instance, multiple 3PLs were invited to propose and bid on a contract, including 6 bids from 4 different bidders. So why did CUMC do it? CUMC decided to outsource their logistics to a 3PL provider looking to take advantage of the expertise from a 3PL provider, allowing medical professionals to concentrate on their clinical responsibilities. By calling for tender, CUMC is able to look at various offers from different logistics providers and compare them, allowing CUMC to find the best fitting 3PL for their needs based on budget, logistical capabilities, and technological integration. So is Fung's plan for logistics service system innovative? First, I want to kind of say what Fung's plan is. So for the storage, Fung planned for there to be 5 different storage facilities. An offsite warehouse managed by the 3PL provider located near the hospital to receive stock. An area within the offsite warehouse designated for storage, repackaging, and relabeling. An on-site buffer storage in the hospital. On-site pharmacy stores for pharmaceutical storage, and hospital stores for medical consumable storage. The ERP systems. CUMC planned to use its pre-existing ERP system to share data with the 3PL provider and additional supply. The 3PL provider would also be expected to create its own ERP system to support logistical operations. The logistics plan, the 3PL provider would be expected to cooperate with CUMC and its suppliers to manage conditions in the storage facilities to be in line with requirements verify the accuracy and quality of incoming supplies, and receive and schedule for every return, purchase, and exchange. Some of the innovative aspects of this is um, at the time, the vast majority of Hong Kong's healthcare industry managed its own supply chains, with only one known user of a 3PL provider. Outsourcing to a 3PL would cut costs and reduce operational responsibility from the hospital. Additionally, 3PLs bring flexibility to the supply chain and would provide the hospital with new innovative systems for tracking, automation, and analytics. Another innovative aspect of this would be it would be the first smart hospital in Hong Kong. CUMC planned to be the first paperless smart hospital to open in Hong Kong, paving the way for the rest of the health industry to follow the trend of digitalization. Implementing a digitalized system would increase supply chain efficiency by utilizing real-time data of drug usage and demand. This approach would additionally allow the hospital to identify trends in various treatments.
All right, so what difficulties did Fung encounter while calling for and analyzing the tenders? For when they were calling for the tenders, there was a major issue in the lack of digitization in bidders. So since CMC aimed to be a digitally advanced hospital, they required each bidder to integrate with the TRP system and also support a full warehouse management system. This is problematic because most bidders aren't fully digitized. So in order to meet these expectations, they would have to make significant capital investments, which could potentially deter their participation. And there was also issue in lack of market benchmarks. So since UMC is a new company, they had no historical data to relay to its bidders. So this forced the bidders to estimate things like buffer stock and storage space amounts completely on their own with limited experience in the healthcare industry. Then once the bids came in, there was an issue in the variance in them, as each bid varies significantly in terms of SKUs that could be performed and also things like compliance with KPIs. This is going to make side-by-side comparisons difficult, which will potentially hinder the negotiation process as the CUMC doesn't have a clear bar to go off of. And this wide variance also highlighted potential miscalculations by Fung and his team, as every bid exceeded their projected baseline fees. So now Fung has to also consider whether the team's internal estimates were unrealistic or if the bids themselves were unideal. And then for the bidders, we'll only take a look at who we figured to be the weakest as well as the strongest. Bidder 3 stood out to us the most as being the weakest of the four, just because they only provided one single bid, and that single bid also ranked very low on the tender assessment. Bidder 3 was one of the more advanced bidders, but since their cost assessment was so poor, it outweighed any kind of technology advantages they could provide. Then on the other side, bidder 2 stood out to us as being the most attractive, as they placed bids for both pharmaceutical and medical sectors. This is important because it allows CMC to potentially only go through one single bidder, which can streamline operations. And both of these bids ranked high on the tender assessment as well. And lastly, bidder 2 is already partly digitized, so it shows their initiative for innovation.
So for the internal operations or 3PL, we recommended the 3PL route. It aligns with the CUMC's lean operating model. It also reduced internal complexity, which was needed when the organization was transitioning into a more smart state. It provides professional logistics support from day one, and it would provide an expected faster startup and smoother operations. And then which 3PL should be awarded the business, like Josh was talking about earlier, we selected Bidder 2. Bidder 2 showed strong performances across key areas, including being ranked best in pharmaceutical services and second best in medical consumables, and having some gaps in the agreement terms. The experiences of Bidder 2 outweigh this weakness, which is why we selected them to move forward with the organization. And then for the conclusion and key takeaways, the CUHK Medical Center went on an incredible supply chain journey to develop a robust logistics services system to enhance operational efficiency, support high quality patient care, and align with its goal of becoming a smart hospital. This case shows a complexity of building a system from the ground up, particularly in the healthcare setting where accuracy, timeliness, and adaptability are extremely important. CUHKMC's approach was leveraging automation, centralizing distribution, and real-time tracking, and this demonstrates how thoughtful integration of technology and process redesign can create a scalable and resilient logistics infrastructure. The center's collaboration across departments and its willingness to innovate amid uncertainty played a pivotal role in overcoming early challenges. As CU HKMC moves forward, its logistics system serves as a foundational pillar for future expansion and digital transformation. And then the three key takeaways we saw were that automation and centralized logistics can greatly enhance efficiency and accuracy. Real-time data tracking supports better inventory control and resource management, and a well-structured logistics system can serve as a model for smart hospitals globally. This is why we would suggest that they select the 3PL route, and that concludes our presentation. Thank you very much for listening, and have a great day.